What's going on, ladies and gents? Dangerous Moose here, and welcome back to some more Overwatch 2. So today, the Overwatch 2 Spotlight came out, and I collected some of my thoughts and wanted to make this video because I made a couple, maybe like last week, I made what I was hoping would come out, and now we've actually seen what's come out, and it seems that I think Overwatch has decided on where they want to go in the future, where there's a lot of good direction and there's a lot of rise of concern depending on kind of how you want to look things. Now, I want to come here today and sort of like just put this out here as sort of my thoughts on things. Nothing's fact. Like, we don't know how it's going to play until it gets here in season 15 and later on. So if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So first and foremost, the biggest thing they talked about was perks. Now, perks bring this new giant shift to Overwatch. It's the biggest way that they are changing how the game is played. So you will level up now 2 times per match. You will receive a minor perk and a major perk. A minor perk can be anything from like a cooldown being faster or just like the effect of something being a little bit stronger. Nothing crazy. The major perk, though, is where this all comes into play. Now, in some of the Spotlight, which I will have linked down below and in the cards if you guys do want to go watch for yourself, showed we're seeing Bastion tank coming back, Torbjorn's turret sticking to wall, level 3 Torbjorn turrets, Orisa getting her like barrier back, piercing javelins, just for some things that they showed. And there's also some Sojourn gameplay in there too, which got me excited, but they didn't really go into detail on what changes for her, and they didn't go into full detail on what everything's coming. So we'll have to read that and experiment with that, because every character is going to be getting perks now. So also, they showed Ana, she can like nano herself now. Shout out, I guess. That's one of her major perks, but that was cool. Honestly, though, I don't hate the perks idea because Overwatch is a solved game. Overwatch is figured out. There is a pick and choose for everything. There's counter picking. There is nothing that they can do to balance the heroes where it's going to be fun. So ultimately, you have to give these heroes now this oomph, this push, this radical shift in a direction that is going to make them better than getting counter picked. Now, they didn't say what the penalty would be if you swapped. I assume that it would reset. I don't know. The perk system will also be in competitive. Speaking of competitive, let's talk about the comp changes. Okay, so competitive. The big scary monster in the room. We're going to be getting a new skin coming in season 15, where they're going to be doing a full ranked reset, and it's going to be a nice galaxy skin. It looks very nice. It's got that cool effect green screen thing going on. Very lovely skin. Looking forward to it. As I mentioned before, perks will be in competitive, so hopefully they're ready and balanced by the time it gets out, because that's kind of scary if there's like something that like sneaks through and it's very broken. A meta can very quickly build upon this, as it did in the Junkenstein, the last Halloween thing where they tested it. That explosive Kiriko stuff was insane, but that's just like sort of more doom speaking than anything else. Don't hold that to gospel. So charms will now also be introduced as a reward for Plat Plus. They will start in season 16, so they'll track your season 15 rank. Hero bans and map voting will come in from season 16 and after, which is exciting. Hero bans I kind of see being a little bit like playing Marvel Rivals, and the hero bans, they're not bad, but they ban out, I think hero bans fall too much on I see what they do, let me copy it, because you'll watch like flats or super or like high-end streamers and higher in gameplay, and now suddenly you're in a diamond lobby, and most times you get a person ask you to ban no more when they're Spider-Man one trick, which sure, okay, that's a better use of banning. But when you see Wolverine and Hulk getting banned, like, okay, those are good heroes to ban, don't get me wrong, but also at the same time too, a lot of people ban around what they see instead of the flexibility of how they want to play, and that's just more of a player thing. Although hero bans will be nice, I do see it kind of devolving a little bit into a, oh hey, I've got dude with weird looking Asian styled name, better ban Genji, or cutesy girl's name over there, I've got Bunny on the other team, bam, there goes Mercy. Like, there's no, like, you're gonna get, the target bans will roll through, and people will also just start dropping characters too, just because they don't simply ever want to see them, where I feel that they will not use bans to actually develop a team play style. They will simply use it to disrupt and become in this sort of like sort of fashion. But anyways, there's also going to be better indications for stats, cooldowns, perks, and other things coming, I guess, to the scoreboard or interacting with things they kind of talked about, but that will have to be more seen through. Now, speaking of communities and the other points of this game, they're introducing a new game mode, which is called Stadium. So, Stadium is this new game mode, and it looks to be a casual sort of game mode. And it also makes me a little bit concerned with them introducing a new sub-community, but I'll get into that in a little bit later. So it's going to have limited heroes on launch, and this is where they're introducing this huge, booming explosion of insane stuff. So the perk stuff we talked about earlier, it's getting amped up to like 1,000 here. This is where that Halloween event, that Kiriko I mentioned earlier, sort of explosive kunai thing is going to take into effect. They're going to have huge abilities like Rhine dashing with a shield. This is a very casual, high intensity, even third person's coming to this game mode you can set up for. Like, there's a lot that's happening. And it seems to be like a new sub-community of Overwatch. It's almost like they're making Marvel Rivals in Overwatch, but with pickable perks. Now, the problem I see with this is the sub-community issues I mentioned before. We already have quick play warriors, we have comp demons, we have the arcade casuals, we have whatever you find in game browser. And granted, those communities get smaller and larger depending on when you point at the scale. Now you introduce Stadium, where once again, it's only going to have like 14 heroes on launch. So not even the full roster of characters, which I already think kind of shoots itself in the foot a little bit. If you can't play with all your characters, you're very quickly going to get people who don't play a certain hero not playing that. And then also, you don't know when any of them are coming out. So you got a Doomfist player, you have a Mercy player, you have something like that. Those characters aren't in there on launch. You're not really going to have a lot of people that are going to be like, ah, yes, sign me up. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a bad game mode. I just worry that we're going to be dividing a lot more and then spreading people more thin across things. But also, I don't really need to see it like maintenancing itself. Once all the heroes roll out, it's just a hodgepodge of everything's OP, go nuts. So, yippee, enjoy your time in there. You know what I mean? It's definitely more or less me just stretching the player base thin. That's all I really kind of see it as. But if it's something they want to do, go for it. I'll play it a couple times probably. But if it's fun, it's fun. I probably won't swear by it too much because eventually the stuff's going to get out of hand because it is designed to be like super overpowered and everything else. Cool, my monitor just shut off while I was reading my notes. All right, so now let's get into Season 15 and everything else that they're bringing back. Okay, I said bringing it back. I shouldn't have said that. I mean going forward. My bad. I was a little thrown off with my monitor turning off there. So Season 15 and beyond is bringing back a lot of cool things. And there's also been some talks too about 6v6, new heroes, and other stuff too. So Season 15 is going to be called Honor and Glory. Loot boxes are back. All right, we've won. It's cool. Wrap it up, boys. We're back. So these will be earned in the free Battle Pass tracks and through weekly challenges where I saw you can earn up to like 5, which is pretty cool. So shout out that loot boxes are back, get free skins. I don't know if they're going to be getting premium cosmetics in them. I don't know what's going on. Sure, we'll see what happens. Shout out, I guess. You know what I mean? So it also looks like, once again, there's going to be no massive buffs or like nerfs or anything like that. It looks like there's going to be micro adjustments, and perks are going to be replacing the majority stay of balancing, which, you know, it's not a bad idea, but like it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It can like it really depends on how the community receives it. This could either be like one thing where it's like the casuals super love it and it really dumbs down the gameplay, or the diehards are like, yo, this is how you build properly, and if you don't do this, you're kind of trolling. So I don't know. It's a very like kind of concerning sort of thing, but we'll see how it goes. All right, this is gonna be my favorite part when I was writing the notes. Yo, the girlies won. All right, season like 16 is like not 15. But the one after that is like Sailor Moon themed, and you're getting like a mythic skin for like Mercy, and she's got like a little teddy bear on it, and that was so cute. And then you're getting like a Sailor Moon Juno mythic already. Shout out Juno. She's replaced Kiriko on the cosmetic scheme. Of course, Kiriko's getting the, you know, Sailor Moon stuff. I'm not even flaming at this point. They just went all out. We are getting the Sailor Moon treatment, and the girlies are winning. Whoever, if you got mans out there, or you've got your girls out there, or whatever you decide to love in your life, and you're like, I want a present, I pray for their wallets, because the Overwatch skin bill is going to be nuts. Absolutely insane. Out of this world. But let's lock in, let's bring it back. So let's talk about Overwatch Classic, and then also into some information on 6v6, and then we'll wrap it up with the new hero that we'll be talking about. So, all right, Overwatch Classic. I don't know why they're doing this. I think it's just funny, haha. We're getting GOATS meta, I guess. That's cool. Shadow GOATS meta. So 6v6 Overwatch Classic will be coming back, and we'll be able to play the 2019 version of GOATS. Sure. What do you want me to say? It's GOATS, bro. Like, I could talk a million different things about it. It's the most infamous thing in probably gaming history. Like, people who don't play this game know about GOATS, sort of thing. So, I don't really need to say that much. The Score Esports did like 19 videos on how this thing killed Overwatch. Shout out, I guess. Shout out. Alright, so now that goes us into 6v6 though. Now 6v6 is still going to be coming in under events. We're even actually getting a ranked queue for it. We're getting an open queue max 2 tanks for 6v6, which is cool. It means we get to test it more. People are going to play harder. People are going to play smarter. People are going to push this to the limit to see if 6v6 wants to come back. But then it also confuses me. Are the perks going to stay if 6v6 comes back? Passives aren't leaving by the looks of it, which is kind of concerning. Maybe I missed over that, and that's my fault. But they didn't mention anything about the passives going away, and that's kind of bad. That's not a good thing. I don't think the passive staying is good. But we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of jumble coming in here with Overwatch. I don't know how they're going to play. They're subscribing to this 5v5 game mode, but then 6v6 is still getting tested, so are they willing to die on everything here? Like, are they just willing to be like, yeah, you know what, this didn't work, we'll just kill every perk? I don't know. I'm not a dev. I'm just a guy who likes playing video games. So, I do like 6v6 a little bit more than 5v5. Maybe that's just me not experiencing it in its prime. Like I did mention it in my last video, I'm not a original Overwatch player. I came in on 5v5. So playing 6v6 is still kind of fresh and exciting on things, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But lastly, let's talk about the new hero. So excuse me to butcher her name. The new hero, Freja. She has an explosive crossbow, and by looking at it, she has a very fascinating kit, what we saw from the gameplay in there. Now, once again, it's all linked down below. I didn't want to steal any footage or put anything in here, so you guys are more than welcome to go check everything out down below. I don't want to get like copyright striked or like that's their property. I want you guys to go watch it also to formulate your own opinions and stuff like that, because I am just a guy. I am not here to sway you. I'm here just to talk about stuff. So she has a explosive crossbow, and when kind of like Widowmaker, you can charge it up for this accurate sniper rifle like shot, and it does explosive damage after it sticks you. But it all looked to be projectile based like Hanzo, so more Hanzo than Widow. But I'll get back to the power creep stuff here right now. She can just she can left click or just default auto attack with a rapid fire sort of attack, and then she can charge her shot for this precision sort of, you know, Hanzo round, and then it explodes. So shout out the power creep of Hanzo and Widowmaker, even though Widowmaker's been very much dominating. Oh yeah, she's getting a mythic gun skin. It looked pretty cool. Shout out, I guess. So she also has the ability to fly/float. Kind of think Moon Knight, I guess, from Marvel Rivals. It kind of how it looked like. She can lift herself up in the air, and then she can kind of glide with it downward, whatever she needs for her movement abilities. Let's see. And also, her trial will be on Season 15. Now, her ultimate, though, is what kind of confused me, because I didn't realize it was an ultimate until I think I rewatched it again. She has, like, this ability, it looks like her ultimate, where she entangles someone, and then they explode. Like, she pulls a bunch of people in, and then they all explode. It looked pretty cool, but also looked like very devastating. It's definitely one of the stronger sides of the ultimates, so we'll see how that goes. She also has like a dash reload and stuff as one of her cooldowns, which is cool. Keeps her in the fight longer. She looked very brawly sniper kind of character, which, like, oh boy, brawl into poke, very interesting. We'll kind of see how I want to see how she's gonna fit in. I'm looking forward to her tests and everything else. So, wow, that was a lot to cover. Well, that kind of mostly covers it for the season, like, for Overwatch 2 Spotlight. I think a lot of people were looking more towards more change. They were looking towards them kind of making this big thing, and it seems to be that perks are what they're subscribing to and what they're, you know, that's their bread and butter now. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to play it, of course. I've been feeling Overwatch is very stale. I did have a lot of issue with a lot of characters on how they played, and they all felt like a giant sort of clump together, where a lot of them were just like, click this one, and it's sort of like your end-all be-all of answers. And so maybe this perk system will change a lot of stuff. Maybe it'll make characters more fun. I don't know. We'll have to see when it all drops on Season 15 and starts rolling out in a couple weeks. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching again. I know this is a little bit of a long one. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you guys do subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys back for some more Rivals and Overwatch content. Peace, guys.